Hey guys, this is TK2, and this is the second game of the Indiana Warmachine Championship Qualifier. I have to say, it's a little weird doing these things, not being part of the game, and then watching them later, because it's kind of like you're spying on someone. Because you can hear everything those two players say, and it's a little weird. It's kind of like watching TV almost, except with Warmachine. But anyway, we should get on to deployment. So what we have here is we have eMorvahna. I know this guy. He's a very good player. I haven't met him before, but he seemed really nice when I went up and I asked him if it was okay for me to actually film him. But my buddy looks like he's going first because he looks like he's already all set up. Anyway, eMorvahna, we have the Tharn Blood Pack because my buddy was silly and forgot to bring his Bog Trogs. Not his Bog Trogs, his Shamblers. Double attack dudes, Ravagers, the chicks with Stykz. I think there is... Oh yes, here's the Riphorn, and there should be a Gorax right next to him. It's kind of hard to tell since there's so many medium-based bodies and a Gorax kind of blends in. His opponent is playing against eVayl, and I have to say, I don't think I've ever played against eVayl, so it's going to make talking about this game very interesting, because me and my vast knowledge of all model names and what they do, it's going to be even more interesting when I have no idea what a caster does. So he has Legionnaires. One of these I saw as he was setting up earlier is a Spell Martyr. I'm just not sure which one is, and the other two are Shepherds, I believe. He has a Spaghetti Pot in here. I think Spaghetti Pot's right back here. Angelii, Harrier, Ravagor, Scythian, and eVayl is in here someplace. I'm just gonna go with that. So yeah, first turn goes to eMorvahna, I believe. Yep, and he's just going to do, he has nothing really to do. The only person who has a top of turn 1 threat is P Shade, and he's not playing P Shade, he is playing eMorvahna. So he's just going to run, because that's what this list is. This list is designed to be super aggressive. Get in your opponent's face, put down scenario pressure, and then try and just, well, scenario pressure, and you have kill pressure because it's Morvahna, and you have heavy beasts, and then you have really freaking good attrition because it's eMorvahna. So he's just gonna run. Okay, now what you do against a running list is kind of tricky because usually you're gonna have to move up and get into their threat range. There's just nothing you can do about it. If at the top of turn 1 the battle line is drawn here, you can't just sit back here because he's just going to come in and, well, knock you out and then take the scenario. So you can't stand back. You have to get up in his face and you have to get up forward. The only problem with doing that then is that you're letting him have the first hit, and this game is all about getting the alpha. So if you come up and get in his face and try and take back your scenario, which is kind of what he's forcing you to do, he gets to hit you first. So you have to run up and you have to engage him with units that can take the hit. And Legionnaires, if I remember correctly, they're the guys with Vengeance. There's some Legion dude with Vengeance, and they have Reach, and they would be really good for this. If he just took these guys, this is a Spell Martyr, that's not a Legionnaire. These are Legionnaires. If he just took one of these guys, or a couple of these guys, and ran them up into these chicks, I'm not exactly sure who their prey is or who their guy's prey is because both of the players are using wooden tokens, so who only knows what it is. If he just runs up in there in them, then he can start to get back some of his pressure. If he like has 2, maybe 3 guys here and then kind of has the rest of the guys back a little bit to charge on next turn, then he's going to be in a pretty good spot. The only problem is that, you know, it's chick with Stykz and they have quick work. so they can just take out the top 2 guys and then quick work into the guys behind them. So you kind of have to figure out something else to do. He has a spaghetti pot, so at least he's making little lesser beasts off of all this carnage that's going to happen from him rushing up so fast. Another thing you could do is you could move up and start shooting them. If they run up so forward, they're probably in your gun's range. So if you have ranged elements, or if you are fast, him running up so far is actually putting him in your threat range. So that's actually good. However, he's not playing Grix, so he doesn't have the statistics raiders, so he can't just charge them. He does have shooting. He does actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 beasts with shooting, so he can walk up and shoot. But then if he walks up and his beast line is here, if his beast line is here and his melee line is here, then he's just going to crush the melee line, and then you have no more infantry to support your beasts, and then the beasts are just going to take the full brunt of this onslaught. And it's epic eMorvahna, so anyone you kill and you don't RFP, it just comes right back, which makes the Scythian really, really big because he RFPs a lot of stuff. And also, I guess it's pretty neat because he has 2 wound infantry, so if you roll light on your dice, you can actually get a bloodbath off, and you can really RFP a good chunk of dudes. So yeah, I guess now that I'm done talking, what I would do if I was playing against my buddy is I would just run up, try and get in his face, because there's kill box in this one, so I gotta be up anyway, and I don't want him to have scenario pressure because he has a lot of scenario pressure right now. I would probably move up with some Ravagors and start taking some shots, and then put the Angelii. This is a little bit tricky. I think eVayl is the one that has admonition. If she is, I might kind of put one up forward-ish someplace. My mouse is stuck on the arrows. Here we go. Might put one up forward, but if you do that, his army's just going to kill you. So you kind of just have to bum rush him. It's really not a good position. If it was probably any other scenario but this one, you'd be fine staying back a little bit and shooting before charging in there, but because he ran up so fast, you kind of just gotta go in and charge him, or else he's just gonna box you out. And he actually has some good shooting with the blood pack and the chicks with sticks, so you're gonna have to get up there anyway, or else then he's just gonna shoot you. So my buddy's a little bit of a butt for just running in his face, but that's just what that list does. So his opponent just walks up, and I guess they do have the defensive line, which, I mean, I guess I can see the appeal to that, but I might have considered running up and engaging. That way at least they can't all just aim and then shoot you. Okay, so Ravagor shoots, kills a chick with a stick, and it looks like he doesn't kill Ravagor but puts him on fire. What's he gonna? He's probably gonna walk up and shoot with the other one again. Okay, the Angelii is going, and he's going to sit on that hill there, and he's gonna try and shoot some of the chicks with sticks. Now, see, what you could have done is he could have run up and engaged this front line with the Legionnaires, and then shot the back line, and that way you get rid of some of that quick work and attacks going on. So now this is kind of what I was saying beforehand. If you leave this beast kind of out here in front, he's just kind of gonna collapse. And what's also a little bit annoying too is that he's playing with a lot of multi-wound infantry, and multi-wound infantry, especially when they have like 8 wounds, don't really care about a Scather template. So now if this was a Crix horde, this Scythian might be fine, because you can only get like 2 guys on him, because these Scathers are going to prevent the guys in the back from actually getting him. But because they're all heavy infantry, they're just going to run up here and absolutely destroy this poor Scythian. And he's their only RFP, so that'd be a really good move for him to make. And I guess, oh, here's kind of a tip if you are playing against single wound infantry. If if you're playing against this horde of single wound infantry and they all do not have reach, okay, what you can do is you can just bum rush your Scythian all the way up here. Okay, so your Scythian's going to be like right here, okay, right in their faces. Then what you do is you take Ravagore and you shoot him in the back, okay? Shoot him in the back, you hit, you don't boost damage because it's your own dude, and you put a Scather template down. Now with the Scather template, it's going to be more than, it's going to be more than a ½ inch. So if they engage you, they take a point. So they can't hurt you, and your dude is safe. So that's kind of a trick to do against lots of horde, like a horde of Mechanothralls, is you could run up your Scythian and then make him safe by shooting him in the back. The only problem is that all of this guy's infantry has reach and more than 1 wound. Well, except for these little guys, but they also have sticks that they can throw. But anyway, it's really in a tricky spot for this guy. I wish I knew more what eVayl did so I could actually talk more intelligently to that. But yeah, I probably just would have rushed up here and just gotten in his face with all of them. I mean, if they die, they die. You get dudes in a pot. Well, I guess you don't get dudes in a pot from these guys because they take your heart, and a heart's a key ingredient for... Oh, here's the pot. Heart's a key ingredient for this pot. But I would still try and do that. That way, at least my beast can get up there and then start actually attacking them next turn. But we're just gonna see what happens if you kind of sit back, because my buddy kind of told me about this game and he moved on. So I'm sorry to kind of ruin it for you, but that's kind of just what I see from this positioning. So then the pot moves up. The pot's good because there's going to be a lot of guys dying next turn, and that pot's going to get full and make some lessers. So here we go. eMorvahna walks up. I'm not quite too sure what she does. Heavy wound infantry guys walk up, take a point, remove the Scythian. Chicks with Stykz then walk up. They go ahead and clean house. It looks like they killed a shepherd, and then they... Wow, holy cow. They kill a lot of dudes, and then they reform back, and then he just moves up with his blood pack, and it looks like he does a lot of damage to that Ravagore. My gosh, my buddy takes dirty lists. Okay, so now I guess I should actually talk about what I think would be a good idea for his opponent to do. So here we go. Goraxon moves up, and okay. What would I do now? Now, not knowing what eVayl does, because she does a lot of crazy things, I know that. But not knowing what she does, I guess what I would do is initially what I'd try and do, I think, is try and move this Ravagore up and try and get a shot on, if this was a Warcaster, I'd definitely do that. Try and get a shot on eMorvahna. However, it looks like eMorvahna has more than 1 transfer, more than 2 transfers, if he even gets this guy up and shoots. So that plan's not going to work because he can just tank 1 shot and then transfer the other one. So that's not going to work at all. So what you could also do is this guy. Oh, this guy can do a lot of work. He has armor piercing and he has overtake. So he could probably just fly right up in here, absolutely destroy one of these guys. It wouldn't even be funny. He'd just completely wipe one of them out. And then overtake and start wiping this one out. Her feat does nothing if you manage to actually take out a whole unit. So if he can get that, if this guy can get some really nice rolls and start taking out some of these ones, maybe take out 2 or 3 of them, and then you have this Ravagore shoot and kill one, and this Ravagore shoot and kill the other one, and this Harrier become a frickin' engine of destruction and just go and absolutely wreck this one, then that puts himself in a really good spot because then you take out an entire unit. Or I guess eVayl can also spell one. Then you kind of you have to worry about these guys here, but if you're worried, you can tie these up, because this pot by now has to have enough corpse tokens to make a little guy. So he could make one of those little guys with reach and go ahead and throw him in right here, and then that way you would tie up all those guys for a turn. Then you would also have to worry about both of these guys. This War Beast is in the back. He's not going to do anything. The other one's in the back. He's not going to do anything as well. However, he still has, I think, he has all but one of his Chicks with Stykz, and he has this entire blood pack, and they have a lot of shooting behind them. So what you could also do is, you could take this Angelii, and he could fly over here and start making work. So this Angelii could fly over here and start picking off some of these guys. And then have admonition on him in case the Rip Horn would have to come for him. But really, in this kind of position, when you kind of lost a lot of your dudes right here, when you lost all these guys, you kind of have to start making trades somehow. So if you can take out, if this guy right here can take out this entire unit, that would be nice. Then if he could, I want to say it's a Stinger. If he could spawn a Stinger, put the Stinger right here to delay those guys for a turn. Maybe have the Angelii either come over here and start trading with these ones, start picking off some of them, or picking off some of these other heavy beasts. And then I guess he would lose. He'd lose the Angelii to the Rip Horn or to some combination. But then he would get another, from these guys dying, he'd get another Lesser War Beast who he could then spawn another Stinger and put right back in here. So you could kind of hold up this entire unit with just a Lesser War Beast, which would be kind of funny. And then the Ravagors and the Angelii can slowly start working down on the medium base infantry. And maybe after these 3 War Beasts take care of this unit, the next turn they can take care of the Rip Horn, which would be huge. And then eventually they can take care of the Blood Pack, then Chicks with Stykz, and then eventually these guys. And then you're not getting to eMorvahna. You're just not. So you're gonna have to kind of go through her army. And then figure out some way to weather the feat. So that's what I would kind of look into doing. Let's find out if the Legionnaires actually do have Vengeance, because some of them died, so he's going to have to... Yeah, they do have Vengeance. Nice. Okay, yeah, so they would be a perfect unit to just, in the beginning, run up there and get in the way. Because now, as you see, what I was talking about is the battle lines are even more up forward on his side, and this objective is behind his battle lines. So he can start scoring points, which isn't good. Okay, what's happening? So it looks like, yes, the Ravagor just took a shot in the middle, which isn't a bad idea because he got like 4 of them. And he's just going to go ahead and like, oh, he rolled triple ones there. That's not good. He's just going to go ahead and maybe kill. Yep, okay, he got one. He's probably just going to get a whole bunch of them. If he got a lot of them, actually. If he had actually rolled anything but triple ones on the one guy, he would have gotten 3, which would have been huge, because then if you get 3 there, then these guys can take out the other 3, and they can wipe out this whole unit instead of this unit. Then you could have the Stinger go and occupy him instead, and then, you know, kind of change your plans that way. So then this other, that looks like that's what he's trying to do. So the other Ravagor goes, he shoots, he kills one. He's probably boosting damage on all the blast damage. And let's see if he can take out that whole unit. Because if he can take out a whole unit, that's good. It's always good if you can take out whole units when you're playing against someone like Shade or eMorvahna. But it looks like he doesn't. But those last 3 have to be really hurt. They're only armor 14. So taking POW 8 blast damage, that's boosted. It has to hurt them. He might actually have the other Angelii, the Angelii up here, come in and finish off those guys. That'd be pretty sweet. Okay, let's see what happens. So, thinking this is definitely a situation where you actually have to think a lot, and it's good to think, because if the thing I like about Death Clock, I'm gonna pause this as I talk. No, it can go one time speed. Thing I like about Death Clock is that when you're in a pickle, you can sit there and you can think, because if you have 60 minutes, it's always better to sit there You can even, there is one game I sat there and I thought for 20 minutes and took just 20 minutes off my clock before I figured out what I wanted to do. Because if you waste 20 minutes of your time, like, but you figure out a way not to lose, that's good. And then you can play quickly and, you know, then you still have 30 minutes to finish a game. Whereas if you don't take that time and you just do something and you don't think it out, you're going to kind of be shooting yourself in the foot. Because if you're already behind and you rush into things, you're probably going to make more mistakes. So in a situation like this, where you're in a very big pickle, just go ahead and take like 20 minutes to think about it. I mean, your opponent's not going to be too happy with you sitting there thinking, but I mean, what does it matter about your opponent? The point of the game is to win. The objective is to have fun. You play the game to win. You don't really play a game to lose. But the reason behind playing the game is because you enjoy playing the game. So I don't know about you guys, but I personally don't like losing. So if I can sit there and take 20 minutes and figure out a way to make it a game, then that's what I do. And this is what it looks kind of like what this guy's doing now. It's never a bad idea just to sit there and think through all the options. It's Warmachine, and Hordes. Well, I guess this is Hordes technically. The game is never done until the Warcaster is removed from the table or an opponent scores 5 points. So there's always a chance, and you just gotta find it. You just gotta find it. That's it. This guy can definitely come back. We're gonna see what happens. So the pot's going to move, and the pot probably has enough dudes to make. Oh, that was a spell martyr or something. He's probably gonna make. I think that was a shepherd. What's he gonna make? He's gonna make something. He has to make something. That'd be the best thing to do in this situation. And you can also start using, when it gets to this, and even before this, you can also have these attendants make attacks. I mean, I don't think anything says that they can't make attacks, and they have reach. He makes a shredder. So you can move them up and start making attacks. I mean, anything that they can kill is great. So, yes. So what's the shredder gonna do? Shredder walks up, he charges. Let's see how many dudes he can take. He takes 2 points of damage, but, I mean, what does it really matter? Okay. He hits the one. And the shredder was hungry and ate one dude. Okay, great. Can the shredder eat the other dude? I think he can. Okay, he hits. He rolled a 12. Okay, yeah, that shredder freaking ate that one. So now it'd be really easy to take care of this guy because you have 2 Angelii left and your Warcaster, so, and a Harrier. So that last one should be going down pretty easy. And then that's actually pretty big in this game if you can take out an entire unit. Okay, yep, there the Harrier goes. I think he charged, used his Animus, auto hit. So he's probably gonna just do damage. And when you roll a 6, 6, 5 for damage, things tend to get taken off the table. Okay, great. He took out a unit. Now he just has 3 more to worry about. But he has 2 Angelii. So again, the Angelii can, you know, come up here. Angelii can come up here and start overtaking maybe. He can maybe start overtaking up here. And then, so with spells, this game is still going. Okay, let's speed it up a little bit. That's not speeding up. I should probably actually click in here. Okay. There we go. So, what does eVayl do? I think eVayl win. I think she cast some spells on that Angelii. I really wish I knew what she did. Okay. That spell martyr had to cast something because it's dead now. Okay. Angelii grows up, absolutely destroys that first one because armor-piercing attacks. Kills the second one. Refuge, I think that spell is called. So 4 more left. He maybe could have gotten another. No, maybe not. I think that was too much fury. And then this other Angelii is going to go up, get some chicks with Stykz, and then walk back again, I would imagine. No, just stay there. Okay. So now, what would eMorvahna do? So, seeing 1 unit's gone, but you got the Scythian. I think I would trade 1 unit for a Scythian that has RFP. Now you could just take out this Scythian, or this Angelii with those guys, you can probably have your Blood Pack even shoot eVayl. The Rip Horn can go to work on that one, maybe, depending on ranges. And these chicks with Stykz can just go ahead and start taking out this infantry. So it's kind of a more straightforward game from the eMorvahna player, so I'm not going to go over it because straightforward games in my book are boring. I would much rather have a big old puzzle and try and figure out what to do than be in his situation and be like, oh, this is easy. I love it when games get to be in his spot and you get to think about how you're going to do things. I love puzzles, and that's a puzzle. So, okay. Here my opponent goes, or my buddy goes, and he's just going to, I think he walked, and so he's going to have a whole bunch of attacks. That must be his prey, or else he probably wouldn't be doing that. And so some rerolls coming in, because eMorvahna is silly strong. And does he end up taking out the Angelii? I can't tell. We're about to find out. Nope, Angelii is fine. So we got some Blood Pack. The Blood Pack are going to shoot the Ravagore. It's not a bad thing to do. Oh, wow. He must have been really hurt from the turn before. Okay, so they killed that guy, and I guess I'm not sure what they're going to be doing. They assaulted in battery. Okay, so now they're charging. Charge the Harrier, charge the Shredder, charge the pot. Eat the pots, get some heart tokens. He doesn't get corpse tokens. The pot doesn't get corpse tokens from that because he gets the corpse tokens. One shots the Shredder. Holy bejesus. Doesn't kill the Harrier, but the Skinwalkers are going to take care of the Harrier. eMorvahna is going to kill the Angelius. Okay. So I guess that could also happen too. That one dies, and then he can just light cav behind the wall. That's dirty. And eMorvahna is so strong, it's not even funny. Run up the Gorax to get into a better position for next turn. Okay. So this is an even bigger puzzle than before. However, what you can do is he lined up his 3 beasts right here, his 3 dudes right here. So you could have this Ravagore shoot this middle one, kill that one, do damage to all these guys. And then this guy, as before, he could come up, chomp on this one, overtake so that he's facing this way. So what you could do is this guy could charge to here and face outwards, right? And then maybe overtake a little bit forward and then face this way. So he gets this guy in his melee range, kill him, overtake a little bit more, and then have these 2 guys in his melee range, and then get the leader of the unit. And with support from, because I would imagine she'd have a magic missile of some sort, she can also soften up this unit. Then you have 2 units down, and you only have 2 more to worry about. Make something from the pot. Have your attendants attack. Make something from the pot. Because these guys are only armor 14, attendants should be able to hurt that. They're defense 13 though, so that might be a little tricky for just like those guys to hit. But if they could hit, they're probably going to do some damage. Make a stinger or something with reach to tie up these people, because you just need to play defense now. If you can get this unit here and then tie up this unit, then these guys will be able to start to pull it back. I mean, it's hordes. You can just heal up those guys. They're fine until they're removed from the table. So, well, I guess if your Angelii ends here, you sacrifice it to the Rip Horn, but then the Ravagore could get the Rip Horn and then just work from there. So, even though it looks bad for the Legion player, you can still do stuff. You can always still do stuff. Legion's a strong faction. Okay. There's always a good thing to remove. It doesn't look like there's anyone to do a vengeance. So the Ravagore, Ravagore is going to shoot him, boost blast damage on all those guys. I would imagine he have to do some damage to them because they're only, well, I guess they're armor 16. But still, okay. Not attendant priests. They're attacking, make a Shredder. I guess Shredder's good for the tenacity. I wasn't thinking about that. Shredder goes up, eats a dude. I might have had the Shredder get one of these guys instead, just so you can start removing units. When you play against eMorvahna, you just have to keep thinking about units. Oh, the Shepherd gets involved. Oh, let's see if the Shepherd can kill her. No. Okay. So now it's going to be the Angelii. Ingelius, there's one, it's singular. So it's Ingelius, not Ingelii. I don't know what he's just shooting, it looks like. Oh, no, he's putting refuge on it. Okay, Ingelius goes, absolutely murders that one. Refuges to the scenario. Oh, there you go. It's always a good idea to get a control point when you're down. And then it is eMorvahna's turn. So the Tharn are just going to clean up all the attendants, because with their corpse tokens they get lots and lots of attacks. So those guys just all go away. Chicks with Stykz or eMorvahna walks up. I think he's putting himself in Fury control range. Skinwalkers. Oh, he feeded. That's where they all came from. Okay. And Riphorn charges eVayl or charges the Ravagore. Oh, nope. I missed it. Okay. It looks like what happened is... Let me go for us again. Okay. It looks like all that happens is the Riphorn charges... the Riphorn charges Vayl. Let's see that real quick. Okay, she feats. Okay. And then it looked like he was... Oh, he was transferring. That's why he was marking on the Ravagore card, is because he was transferring, because this is Hordes, not Warmachine. Yes, that makes lots of sense now. Okay, so Riphorn charges Vayl. Vayl dies because it's a Riphorn in her face, and I hear she's not that strong. So yeah, that was the second game. Even though it looked really bad for the Legion player, I mean, he took out a whole unit of the Circle player, and he had opportunities to take back a couple more units. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that game. Looks like we've had 2 assassinations so far. I don't know what the third game was. Oh, I do know what the third game was. The third game has Crix in it, so that should be fun. So yeah, stay tuned and get ready for that one.